Good afternoon. Welcome back to Three Swords Gaming. So we are going to continue playing through the personal story in Visions of Eternity. And we left off with having discovered that Sebb and Kuda are up to some shenanigans, some experiments. Sebb clearly has like enhanced raptors that he was eager to test out. Tested it on a golem that went haywire because we caused it to go haywire. So they made their way off further into the caverns while we were dealing with the golems that we made go haywire in the first place. So we are ready to continue and hopefully hunt down Sebb and Kuda and find out a little bit about what's going on with them and what kind of shenanigans they're engaged in. And so we are going to continue with that. Now, what I intended to do, just for a few minutes, like I think it's only been like maybe 20 minutes, but since the last video, in terms of me sitting here at my desk, what I had intended to do was maybe knock out some rifts to gain some experience and grab some mastery points and also a couple of hero points. And then I got distracted because the map event came up, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do that because I do want to complete it at least once on this account to get the mastery point associated with that and just kind of knock out that achievement and so forth. So I did that. It was my second time. I've done it once on my main account. There are a number of things that I do actually like about the event. It forces the players into two groups, which I think is a good thing, and doesn't necessarily. So the little bit of forecasting here, a little
Just one more confirmation of how great
stuff that comes up later. The meta on the other map requires significantly more collaboration. On this map, it splits you into two groups, but it splits you evenly because there's a mechanic that facilitates that, like a plus-minus mechanic. Not unlike the fractal, where they use a plus-minus mechanic, the that laboratory fractal. But in this case, it just is really more of a sorting mechanism. And when the two bosses come together at the end, the Hammerfall twins, they share a health pool, so you don't have to engage in the timing of bringing them all down, or both down at the same time. That is different from the meta in the second map, where you very much do have to coordinate. Once again, let's see, can I do this without the... Well, I'm going to get knocked off my mount either way, probably.
Looks like they went.
Yeah, I
this
can
way.
do it on this mount. In the second map, the players have to do that coordination. And there have been plenty of failed metas here in the first couple weeks of the expansion because groups couldn't do that coordination. Lots of hurt feelings, which is to be expected with a new meta in a new expansion. Every time they roll that out, read the note, leave the crumbs. Read the note, eat the crumbs. So I usually eat the crumbs, and I don't know why, because truthfully, if you stop to think about it, that's gross. Let's leave the crumbs. We will read the note. The note reads, Dear Jim, how many times have I told you to change the code on your lunchbox? Now you can finish the day hungry. Thanks for the food. Man, the Inquest are really a cutthroat organization, aren't they? Poor Jim. Poor Jim. Okay, I was, the one time that I tried the meta on the second map, I was on a successful map. There was a commander. The commander had a vague idea of what was going on, but also many of the players had a vague idea of what was going on. And truthfully, all of the mechanics in play there are mechanics we've seen before. There is absolutely nothing in that meta that's like new in some way where like players who have been playing Guild Wars 2 for 10 minutes or so should be confused about what's expected out of them. However, there are also a lot of new players in the game, and presumably many of them that are joining right now, particularly after New World decided to sunset, may be jumping straight into this content without having played any of the rest of the game, so that may explain why there's been a lot of struggles associated with I can't remember which way they passed. I thought it was... Maybe it is this way. Yeah, there we go. Oh, but there's another... Gotta go after these hero points. I mean, we don't, actually. We don't gotta go after them, but... Oh, yeah, so, I don't know if you can get this wrong, but I know you can get it right by just choosing fire every time. Calculating results. Your answers have been noted. Chaos module learned. Also, if you choose chaos every time, you'll get the same response. I don't know what happens if you choose like a responsible decision every time. Maybe you don't actually get the hero point. No idea. But again, like they really leaned into like making the hero points super accessible in this expansion, so probably no matter what you do, you get the hero point. Okay, yeah. Second meta event. So maybe that explains why there have been so many failures, is that there are simply a lot of genuinely new players. Or maybe it's just players... Maybe the baseline is lower than I thought, or maybe players are kind of...
Looks like they went this way.
You know, not wanting to participate in like that kind of collaboration. I don't know. But that second meta does seem to have been giving people some angst. Also, that second meta, the health pool on the boss is quite high. And so that's sourced some frustration as well, I think.
Nothing right now, thank you. Perhaps when our business concludes.
What?
Sounds like that agent from earlier. I need to get in there.
I need to get in there. Okay, so I will knock. I need to get in there, so I will knock. Can't let you in without the password. Loot and pillage in Holgarden Village. I mean, it rhymes. Surely...
Nope, that's not it. Nice try, Scrub.
Huh, okay. So, we will endeavor to defeat freebooters to obtain a password and disguise. And I think there is a second part of this too, if I remember right, but we'll see here in a second. So dodgy. And I don't mean they're sketchy, I mean literally they dodge all over the place. Oh, there's an event taking place nearby. They want help. Alright. Let's see if we can get past... I mean, they seem to be doing fine without me. I don't think that I'm actually going to get participation. Oh, a little bit, looks like.
You had to write that password down. My lucky day.
Oh, and in the process, completed what it was that I was supposed to be doing.
Is it just me, or
Alright, cool.
am I amazing?
We need the experience. That's good.
Don't like how many waypoints they're putting up. As soon as those things are operational, this place is done for.
These guys are like real glassy. I think but their respawn time is like almost 0. So I think they're meant to almost just be like fodder, and more of a distraction than like an actual threat. Because they're barely a threat, like in a group, I suppose, but for the most part they're just all over the place and they die fast, which I guess is good for loot. All right, so we got the password a minute ago. I assume because I actually, because that event was happening, I didn't catch what it was. But given that, you know, the story thing is next to I'm thirsty, mate. Yeah, that worked. Oh, and look at me, I'm all dressed up in, I think there's a way of getting this outfit. Don't remember what it is. I actually do like it. It's a good looking outfit. Let's settle in at the optimal overhearing spot. Oh, wait. There's an optional dialogue thing over here. Heavy-handed Hank. I assume this is the boyfriend of the guy that we got the hero point from. Let's work off that assumption. Although, as I recall, the name wasn't Hank. But anyway. How about an ale? What happens if we ask for lemonade? Because, like, obviously that's stupid. We're in a pirate bar. Let's ask for lemonade. Oh, we get a lemonade. That's an immense disappointment. Okay. Look casual with your
Full-time
lemonade.
jobs, with rules, policies, and for what? A pension? Ha! I hope you've got something better than that to offer.
We can outfit you with a squad of Mark IIs.
Gave us golems already. Bit flimsy, you ask me. Them shore rats knock 'em apart mighty easy.
Those were hastily refurbished Mark I support models. We just uncrated a number of combat-ready Mark IIs.
Them ones that do the spinning, with the fists. I'm listening. What else you got?
Rations, medicines, state-of-the-art small arms, and a sizable quantity of that dark headache-inducing swill you enjoy.
And what are you asking in return this time?
Mostly you use this equipment to secure the area. We also require some muscle. Eyes and ears, possibly. Inland.
Plenty of muscle here, eh, pal? And a keen eye or two. Don't think we can match your ears, though, friend.
Have we a deal? Can the inquest count on you?
You got it. Now, you bring any of that swill with you?
Alright. So we now know what Agent Tessa's up to. Essentially hiring on the freebooters as hired help for, you know, security and as enablers. Oh, we should take a drink. How's that lemonade? Sloshy. Huh. Wonder... Overindulgence. Drink too much liquid while... I wonder if we can still get credit for that? Or if, yeah, surely we can, because the achievement's still available. Oh, fun. Okay. Let's get out of here. This is not that much fun. Ready to leave? Yar.
Bad news for Holgarden. We need to figure out a way to deal with these golems. And those supplies, too.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't... Wait, I think we need the skimmer soon, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, search the area for instructions on how to disable the golem. So this event was happening last time I was here too, and I don't know... Is this event associated with this story step? I genuinely don't know, right? Because I can see how, like, the data pad thing corresponds with what we're being asked of in the story.
Not too dry. Is this a lunch order?
But it is kind of confusing, right? I think it's actually a coincidence.
Comparisons of magical readings to other known magics. Oh, can't make sense of it. Maybe somebody else can.
I could outrun a...
Oh, a report on giant creatures roaming the coast and forest. Got any intel from the Castorans on that, Wayfinder? Okay. Looks as though they've allied with some locals nearby. Outfitted them with some old inquest tech.
I'm genuinely not sure if I'm advancing the story right now or not. I can't remember.
Do some real damage.
And... And the event is too similar to what's being asked of in the story for me to have any certainty.
Comparisons of magical readings to other known magics. Oh, can't make sense of it. Maybe somebody else can.
I don't think so. I think this is actually just the event. We got Golem admin notes over there. Maybe that's what I've been looking for. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so my participation in that event was highly unnecessary. That's alright. Alright. Golem admin notes.
I have to find the rest of these codes. Don't want the freebooters using those golems against the Hull Gardeners.
The principal biomancer insisted that any golems traded to the local freebooters be outfitted with failsafe codes should they attempt to betray our good faith exchange for inland manpower and increased coastal harrying. These codes deactivate all combat features. Please ensure multiple copies of these documents are given to all facility staff. Note, a compiled list will also be available when time permits. Okay, so then we got, like, names and codes for the various... Oh, there's more pages we need to find. For the various golems, right? So they incorporated something that I actually, like, quite appreciate. There's a couple more, which is that once you gather these, like, you don't have to write them down or anything. They will be available to you while you go through the story step, which we are now going to do. And that's a welcome thing, because this would have been kind of a punishing story step if, you know, and the obvious answer would be to, like, write them all down. But that would not have been fun. So the fact that here in a moment, yes, as I wander around aimlessly, here in a moment, so right there, the Golem admin notes that are here, that is the list in its entirety. So what that means is, you see how Jimmy's right there? I can find the one for Jimmy, 1723, take care of Jimmy, and then consult the notes again for the next one. A welcome thing, because they do actually require you to put in the codes.
Disabled.
I think in past expansions and so forth, they might have just treated it like the commander has the codes and thus is adequately prepared to deal with the golems, and then you just walk around and, like, click on the golems and it does it. But as I mentioned in previous videos, you know, their attention to detail is like, okay, Jess. Their attention to detail is quite a bit higher in this expansion, and it's a welcome thing. In this case, that manifests in us having to also have a higher, you know, attention to detail. 0334. In order to, you know, get what we want out of this.
Friendful identification.
Short Shanks the Knuckle Dragger. That is pretty good. Pretty good name. I like it. Now, it would be faster, obviously, if we had written them down, because then I wouldn't be running back here each time. But I'm not going to do that. Short Shanks, 5791.
Targeting system decommissioned.
Time to do some real damage. They'll have to hit much harder.
Whoops. Those were on pirates? Well, too bad for them, I guess. Alright, we still gotta find, like, 2 or 3 more golems. This is where the map event, or the meta event, or whatever for this map takes place. Right there. So you see there's a transporter which is tied to Canuck's thing, and then there's also, or actually I think it's, yeah, sorry, the 3 transporters, one here, and one there, and like, or am I seeing something behind the scaffolding? Anyway, like, Canuck's transporter drops you in between the 2 main ones, and then those 2 you switch back and forth depending on your plus-minus alignment and so forth. I'm not a good person for guides, so you'll figure it out. Alright, where are the other golems? There's one... Okay, there's Johnny, Red Knees. Do the golems have red knees? And Salty Dog. Is this the last supply to be destroyed? Probably. Yeah. Alright. So, Salty Dog and Johnny Red Knees. Let's see if I can remember 2 codes at once. Which is truthfully, like, highly debatable. But we're gonna give it a try.
We heal as one. I'll break you down. They'll have to hit much harder.
Ugh, leave me alone. Johnny Red Knees and what? All those freebooters made me forget. Johnny Red Knees. And who was the other one? Salty Dog. 8231 and 1312. 8231 and 1312. But which one's which? I don't remember. We have 50-50 chance.
Code approved. Combat mode deleted.
Wither.
Everything okay, Commander?
Yes,
Been in there a
everything's
while.
fine.
Got sidetracked. The Inquest have struck an arms deal with the freebooters. I sabotaged what I could.
I'll let our new friends know you did him a solid. What's in all this for the inquest?
What is in all this for the
Through
inquest?
yet. Kuda and Sebb must have continued north. I'll keep at it.
Good luck. Holler if you need backup.
Okie dokie. Alright. Kuda and Sebb must have headed further north. Oh, you're not an enemy. I mean, you are, but you're not in a state of aggression. So, further north we go. And with a hero point to boot. There's like another little pirate bar over here. There's all kind of events that take place at this bar. Head to the north end of the freebooter cabin.
Too many tracks to follow. Maybe my skimmer can help.
Maybe my skimmer can help. I knew we were getting to the skimmer part. All right. And yet, I don't have the ether location button. What is happening here? I mean, I know where I want to be. Oh! Of course. Yes, we need to finish the mastery. Alright. Welp. Let's see. Yeah, we'll cut the video and jump to when we have the mastery. There's no reason to drag you through me doing riffs and events. So, we'll be back in a second. And when we are back, we'll use the skimmer's ether location to track Sebb and Kuda. Alright, see you in a second. Alright, so we are back, and I have a story to tell. So we took that little break, and the intent was that I was going to complete the mastery that the story required. However, I thought it was this mastery, and it is not. It is this mastery. So I finished this one, which I was very close to, and then accidentally started resourcefulness. 3/4 of the way through that one, I realized it was the wrong one, switched to Castoran Intuition, and now nearly have that one complete. In the process, over 2.5 hours passed, and I completely unlocked Ritualist on my Necromancer on this account, and all kinds of other shenanigans ensued as well. Lots of events were done, lots of mastery points were unlocked, all kinds of things while I went through that process. I did do some rifts to try and advance it, but I don't enjoy rifts very much. And while they are a kind of foolproof way to advance masteries because they, because you know you're going to get the event, like they're events on demand, they're not very rewarding in terms of experience, so it was going very slow with rifts. So I shifted away from rifts and started doing other things, a variety of events across the map, and actually did some events that I hadn't done before even on my main account. Just because I never got around to doing them, like they weren't that interesting to me, but I was taking any events I could get. So as a result, new events were done. So I suppose not all is lost. Okay, is that did it? That hero point pushed us over the top, so we should now be able to advance our story here. Whammy. Use your skimmer's aether location to... Okay. Cool, man. So we could have actually entered the tunnels right there, but I think that would have been, like, way north of where we wanted to be. So we're going to scoot back down there. What an adventure. So happy that I got that positive experience. So, a thought on this. Now, certainly, advancing the wrong mastery, that's on me. I did not pay proper attention. Not sure how I got them switched up, but certainly I did, and that is player error. However, to need the second mastery in the line at that point in the story feels like maybe a bit much.
Ward Scout Rick's here. We're picking up signals of Inquest spy equipment in your area. Take them out.
No. We really just want to get through the story, and that's what we're going to do. All right, inspect.
We know they're heading north. Maybe the skimmer can sense if there's something unusual we can track.
Maybe, hopefully
See
before
how
I
sharp
get
those senses are.
dismounted. This is going to lead us on a little bit of a adventure here. A little bit of a trip. Which meanders, of course, because that's kind of like how they make it. Oh, yeah. And the barrel roll thing. So somewhere there's like some sand. It should be pretty obvious. I don't know why I'm missing it. That's it right there. And an inquest cache. Alright, this guy's just going to continue to annoy us until we take care of him. Alright, let's open this cache. What do we got here?
Sebb gathering artifacts inland. Kuda receiving secret messages. Interesting. Let's see what else we can find.
We will after we read it, Commander. Overseer. I can only offer my apologies. What the director sees in the principal biomancer is beyond me. So, in other words, whoever's writing to Kuda is saying, no idea what the director sees in Sebb. Sebb's a goofball. But there's no doubting the cruelty to which we would be subjected should he become aware of our information sharing agreement, or arrangement. Agreement, arrangement, synonymous. As far as his experiments are concerned, Sebb has been requesting a number of artifacts from the dig sites inland. What he intends with said artifacts I have been unable to discover, but it seems he has acquired enough of the objects to satisfy whatever hypothesis he intends to test. Again, I do very much appreciate your discretion and your willingness to indulge our paranoia with regards to the unconventional nature of these dead drop locations. Oh, yeah, that event that's nearby is one of the events that I did. 2 level. It's not the most time-efficient event, quite frankly. Oh, it's over here. But it is an event that one could do for experience. Alright, this is going completely the wrong direction, actually. Ultimately, we're going to end up far to the north, but of course we're going to take the longest route possible to get there. Alright, barrel roll again. That looks like some sand right there. And we have an inquest audio log box. Hopefully nothing interrupts.
By the time you retrieve this message, if it isn't washed out to sea, I will have already witnessed whatever vile abomination Sebb thinks to unleash next. Whatever it is, I expect it to be nowhere near powerful enough to combat the Seneschal patrolling the mainland shore. It would almost be a shame if Sebb managed to kill her. She's rather majestic from a distance. Perhaps she will snap his head from his shoulders, and I can watch as his grinning face rolls into the sea. For now, keep a low profile. I'm heading inland to meet up with Sebb, after I siphon the salt water from my suit.
Seneschal. I'm not sure what that is, but Kuda definitely wants Sebb dead. Where to next?
And the Seneschals are definitely like a thing in the story. We'll get more clarity on that as the story advances. But we do get a nice introduction when that time comes here shortly. Oh, of course, again, the opposite direction that we actually want to be.
You, come. I hunt minerals. Mere rocks, some say. Ha! Science says otherwise. Essential for tools, for weapons.
Calm down, Gabby. I know what minerals are. Alright, another dead drop. Or inquest cache.
Apparently, Castora is even more dangerous than we suspected. Back to the trail.
Alright, apologies for lack of communication. Sebb always suspicious. Note from Vlox references second Seneschal in Starlit Wild. Vlox hypothesizes territoriality. It's a hell of a word. Territoriality beyond natural inclinations. Perhaps magical in origin. In other words, guardians, right? Guardians of a place or thing. Suspect from diction a diminishing impatience with Sebb's indulgences, but director can be inscrutable. In other words, it sounds like, based on the tone of his voice, the director, leader of the inquest, is getting tired of Sebb. More when time permits. Okay. Well, cool, man. Alright, almost where we want to be.
Something big ahead? I better call in some help just in case. Saida, I think I'm nearing the end of the trail. Skimmer's sensing something big. Bring backup.
I'll gather whoever I can and be right there, Commander.
Okie dokie. Alright. Let's find out what this big thing is and then put this 1 hour video, which took 3.5 hours of my life, behind us.
Finally.
Came as quickly as we could. Canucks occupied. Rowdy freebooters.
Iskarin?
Invited him to check out the pub. Then invited him to check out Hullgarden. Wasn't too bothered when he declined.
He seemed a little under the weather when we arrived. I assumed he was back on the Leviathan, but no luck there.
Get the feeling he doesn't want to be here. Sure did insist on coming, though.
No time to worry about it. Sebb and Kuda rendezvoused here, testing some experiment nearby. Let's see what they're up to.
Okay. Let's see then. Crabs.
What is it with these things? Haven't left us alone since we sailed in.
You know, for an attack that doesn't actually harm you, the thing where it throws you around is tremendously annoying. Which I guess is kind of the point, right? And in that sense, I like it. Good. Because that's different, right? Like, normally, the whole point of, like, what the enemies do is that it damages you. And here's a way of kind of mixing that up. Now, there is a reason that it's crabs that's attacking us, by the way, and we'll get to that very much soon enough. But that's not completely arbitrary in nature. Which, when I first played through this and we just randomly got attacked by crabs, I'm like, sure, why not? Like, but then it kind of comes around and you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Are you gonna beat the information out of them, or...?
Are they burying rocks?
No idea. Got eyes on those raptors?
Friends of yours, Kuda?
Hardly. Did you allow yourself to be followed, Biomancer?
I would ask the same of you, Overseer. But it's irrelevant.
No raptors.
Too good to be true. They're not running.
Not even any guards
What
around.
matters now is that you've all bungled this experiment.
We're bunglers.
Do you have any idea the effort I've gone to?
Burying artifacts that were scarcely just unearthed.
Ah, but wait. Yes. Let's test a different hypothesis. Here, catch.
What?
That's a great line from Overseer Kuda. Unfortunate. So there's Kuda. And she runs off.
Do you see those chains?
Whoop.
She's bound by magic. I don't think she's doing this by choice.
She wants those objects Sebb was burying around here. Maybe we can find those for her. Calm her down.
Killing her seems hard enough, let alone not killing her.
I appreciate you stepping in, Commander. Good luck.
So the first time that I encountered this part, I was tremendously frustrated because it felt like this thing is incredibly spongy, which it is, and that I was just going to do this for like the duration of the fight, and that did not feel even remotely good. And it doesn't. Even this portion of it does not particularly feel good. But they do throw in more. Okay, so now it does that. And you see this other little rando crab that just pops up and kind of does like a little shimmy?
Not
oh,
helpful.
rats. Oh, we're not going to make it? So when those waves aren't disrupting... Oh, yeah. Then you search all these little dig sites around them. Just chunk the ones that you don't need. And ultimately, you will find what you're looking for.
Something here. Throw it to her.
Yeah, I will. Here, have that. And that's kind of the gist of it.
Time to do some real damage.
Now, again, it doesn't completely mitigate the... Oh. I thought it didn't get me, and it did. The aspect of this fight where you're just really throwing... And I'm not, like, particularly high DPS. I'm not particularly good at the game. So this part grinds for me. You know, it's slow. Obviously, if you're better at the game, this part will be faster. And I think that's by design. I think they would like the average player, like myself, to become more proficient. And so this is a mechanism of encouraging that. Alright, where's that other crab? And in that sense, oh, I thought I was far enough away. It functions. It serves its role.
No luck.
Try again.
We heal as one.
We're gonna get hit by that wave. There's no getting around it.
Something here.
Oh, especially if we... Ah, shenanigans.
Feel the fury. I'll break you down.
You'll have to hit much harder. Not enough endurance.
Wither.
Definitely, if I was on Necro, you know, this would go significantly faster. I'm far better at Necro than I am at Ranger, but this is the character we decided to do this playthrough on. Well, I decided because it was my decision. So that's what's going to happen here, is we're going to do this on a Ranger. Alright, and again, where's that? There we go.
No luck. Keep looking. Something here.
I don't know if it's RNG when you find the thing or not. You know, we saw that the first one took 4 tries, the second one took 2, and the third one took 2, and I feel like in general it was like 4 each time the first time I went through this. Anyway, who knows? So when we look at this giant crab, Kayla, Seneschal of Waves, it's got golden chains and then like a black with blue and gold magic coming off of it. We'll be seeing a lot more of magic that is kind of themed with this like ornate gold and then the black and the blues and so forth. So this is a thing we'll see more of.
We're not your enemy. There you go.
That actually worked. Thought for sure somebody was going to end up dead there. Probably us.
Yeah.
What are those artifacts? And the magic that's holding her?
Raleigh magic mostly. But I swear there's something else familiar about it. When I saw it earlier, near Hull Garden.
Either of you get much of a look at those artifacts she's hoarding?
A book? Tablets? Some kind of shard.
Shadowstone. The Seers. Gods, that's what that magic felt like. Seer magic. Iskarin? Iskarin! Either he can't hear me or he doesn't want to talk. With Keela calm for the moment, maybe you two can get some people inland and start setting up camp.
On it. We'll keep an eye out for Iskarin.
And Sebb. Like to wipe that smug grin off his face and get some answers.
I'll meet you there soon. We'll get our bearings. See if we can find any leads.
Alright, yeah, so we're gonna fixing to head inland. Before we head inland, I have a... Oh, bye Saida. Bye Ritlock. Should we follow them? I don't want to follow them on the skimmer. I don't... I'd rather be on a Warclaw. That's not relevant right now. Here's what's relevant. Shadowstone. So am I missing something? Like maybe it was like kind of deeper lore in the last expansion, or did I miss it? Or I'm sorry, miss it. Did I forget it, or did I miss it, or is it from a raid or something? Like I don't know. Why Shadowstone should be familiar to us. Why Shadowstone should be familiar to the commander. I don't recall hearing it before. And yet here the commander is like very familiar. Oh yes, Shadowstone. You know, of course. That's where I recognize that. Well, I don't recognize that. I don't remember that being a thing. Wait, did it start us in? It did. It started us in the next map, didn't it? Okay. So it did. So I'm a little... Much like we suddenly know the name of the crab, we suddenly seem to recognize Shadowstone. Again, unless I missed something at some point. I maybe kind of wish that had been done different, but I genuinely feel like it's more likely that I missed something. I just don't know what it is. You know, I might wiki it before the next video and see if there are like references to Shadowstone, like see where it is referenced in the game. And that way I'll have like a good idea of what is going on, because that's very odd to me. Alright, so we're about to wrap up this video. We're not going to advance the story anymore today. We have plenty of time for that, particularly since I got you know, a holiday coming up. We are going to do this fun hero challenge because it is fun. So we got this little fox here, and we're going to pet it. The glint of intelligence in its eyes suggests it's no ordinary fox. I don't know, is it an extraordinary fox? You sense it has something to offer you. Okay. The fox chirps in reply. It seems you'll need to earn her trust. Alright, so head pats. Oh wait, actually, I think I've got something for you. Okay, so I think this might be the one that is unique to Ranger. Every class has a hero point with a unique interaction, I believe. I've encountered like 5 of them so far. Is this the Ranger one? You search in your bags and find a little treat. How about a head pat and a treat, little friend? And Ranger automatically gets it. So for everyone else, we can see these folks repeatedly, like kneeling down. You do the little game where you identify the different thing on the bar. And you repeatedly kneel down and pat its head and choose the right one until you get it. You have to do it for like 10 seconds. You have to keep doing it. So interesting, we found the one that the ranger gets a different interaction with, because the ranger would have an affinity to animals and apparently carry a little bag with treats or whatever. So I like it. That's awesome. Okay, so we are inland in Castora now. In fact, we are in, what's it called, Starlit Weald or something like that? Starlit Weald. So here we are in Starlit Weald, in the camp, the wizard's camp, apparently. Well, like, Priory and Corsairs and stuff live in, like, normal tents, I guess, and then the wizards have their wizardy tents. They're all already hurt, though. Wizards need to get their business together. That guy thought he was better, but then he laid down again. He's like an NBA ball player. Oh, look at that. We got an arena net dev, or employee at least. So that's like that symbol is like essentially they have a guild that all the employees are a member of, so that, you know, ArenaNet says right there, that notes that they're a member. So hopefully they're having fun playing their game. I'm having fun playing their game. That whole mastery experience notwithstanding, and actually let's finish that mastery, and then we'll need to get into Wild Castoran magic as well. I don't recall if we're gonna have to grind more of these or not, so we will see. Regardless, we're not going to do it tonight. So, what have we learned? Well, we followed Sebb and Kuda inland. Sebb and Kuda, however, not really a team, kind of at odds. In fact, when Sebb tried to kill us, he tried to kill Kuda. He threw the artifact at her, which drew the Keela, the giant crab, out. So very much murder attempt on the part of Sebb. What does that mean for us? Is there an opportunity with Kuda or with the Inquest in general? Is that a crack we can drive a pry bar into? I don't know. We will see. We've identified this Shadowstone thing. We've identified Seer Magic. Are the Inquest after Seer Magic? I think it strongly suggests that, right? But we'll get our answer going forward. So when we come back, apparently we're going to regroup with Saida and Ritlock at Foothold Bivouac, and maybe get some answers on some of this stuff and continue to pursue Sebb, right? Typically, these kind of stories coming out of ArenaNet have a midway bad and a big bad, right? I think it's kind of clarifying, like, what is happening here and who the midway bad might be, and then we probably still got a ways before the big bad. So we'll get to all that as we progress. In the meantime, you have a good evening, and I will get back at this in a couple days. Thank you.